In the heart of Umuagu, a peaceful village surrounded by vast farmlands, lived a humble and hardworking man named Ekene. He was known for his kindness, patience, and willingness to help others even at his own expense. Orphaned at a young age, he grew up understanding the value of community, generosity. Though he had little, he never turned away anyone in need. But sometimes the world is not kind to the kind-hearted. Ekene had a small but flourishing yam farm, which he cultivated with his own hands. He worked from sunrise to sunset, tilling the soil, planting and harvesting. Yet, no matter how hard he worked, he never ate alone. Among those who benefited from Ekene's generosity were 3 childhood friends, Obiora, Dike, and Chijioke. They had grown up together, playing by the riverside, chasing wild birds, learning the way of the elders. But unlike Ekene, these men had grown greedy and lazy. They admired his success, but instead of working hard themselves, they relied on his kindness. Whenever they needed food, they went to Ekene. Whenever they were in trouble, they went to Ekene. Whenever they wanted money, they went to Ekene. And Ekene, he gave them without question. The elders of the village often warned him, "Ekene, be careful. Not all who laugh with you wish you well." But Ekene, with his ever-gentle smile, would reply, "A man's worth is in his ability to help others. If I have, they should have too." One dry season, the rains were late and the food became scarce. The village's harvest was poor and the people struggled. But Ekene, through his hard work and wisdom, had stored enough yams to last the season. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and red, Obiora, Dike, and Chijioke sat under the old baobab tree, their stomachs empty and their minds restless. Chijioke, the most cunning of them, leaned forward and whispered, "Why should we keep begging Ekene when we can take what we need?" Dike, the strongest of the three, nodded. "He has more than enough. He won't even notice if we take a little." Obiora, the most deceitful, smirked. "Not just a little. If we are going to do this, we take it all." That night, while Ekene was asleep, the 3 friends sneaked into his barn. With swift hands and greedy hearts, they carried away every single yam he had stored, laughing as they disappeared into the night. The next morning, Ekene stretched his arms, breathing in the fresh morning air. He walked to his barn, humming a song his mother used to sing. But as he opened the door, his song died in his throat. His yams, everything were gone. His heart pounded, his legs grew weak. He ran outside, searching desperately, but the only thing left were footprints in the dirt leading away from his home. Villagers gathered as they heard the cries of despair. They murmured among themselves, shaking their heads. Who would do such a thing? But deep down, Ekene knew. A sharp pain twisted in his chest, not just from the loss of his food, but from the truth that hit him like a spear. His own friends had betrayed him, yet he did not chase them. He did not curse them. He simply sat on the ground, staring at the empty barn, whispering, "Why?" The following days were harsh, with no food and no one to turn to. Ekene was forced to work as a laborer on other people's farms just to survive. Those who once ate from his table now ignored him. But he did not beg, he did not complain. Instead, he worked harder than ever before. Season after season, Ekene rebuilt his farm. He learned new techniques, planted more crops, and expanded his land. He saved every bit of food he could. While others wasted, he stored. While others slept, he worked. Years passed, and the once broken man became the wealthiest farmer in Umuagu. His barns were full again, and this time he was wiser. One fateful year, A great famine struck the land, crops withered, rivers dried, and hunger gripped the village like an iron fist. People grew desperate. And then one evening, as Ekene sat outside his new, bigger barn, three familiar figures approached. Obiora, Dike, and Chijioke, now thin, weak, and desperate. They fell to their knees before him, tears streaming down their faces. Ekene, please, Obiora pleaded. Forgive us, we were foolish, we have nothing left. Ekene studied them, his heart heavy with memories of the past. For a long moment he said nothing. Then he stood, walked to his barn and returned with 3 large tubers of yam. He handed one to each of them. They looked at him in shock. You stole from me, but I will not steal from myself by holding on to hatred, Ekene said. Take this food, but remember, greed will always leave you hungry. The 3 men wept, not just from relief, but from shame. Word of Ekene's wisdom spread across the land. The elders gathered the village and told his story for generations to come. A kind heart is a gift, but wisdom is its shield. Never let generosity make you blind, nor revenge make you bitter, for in the end, karma remembers all. And so, Ekene's legacy lived on, not just as a rich man, but as a wise man.